welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? It's the end of the week already. I thought I'd give you an update on my bees, since I gave you that teaser the other day. Or did I cut that out? I think I left it in. I can't remember. Sometimes I cut things out and then I'm like, did I say that or not? But anyway, my bees. So my bees, I was super excited because both hives made it through the winter. So we're gonna call one hive 1 and one hive 2. Now hive 1 just built up huge fast. Hive 2 just deteriorated and died. So all the honey that was in there got robbed. I mean, it's just amazing, the robbing process. It blows my mind. But so it was dead. So we roll into summer and it's like July. So then we have this hellacious thunderstorm. Hail, the weirdest hail you've ever seen. And my bees are planning to swarm is what it looks like during these storms. And I don't know if they just think it's a good time, but can't they tell the weather is coming? You know? So they got obliterated. And then we get this hailstorm and like 3/4 of the ones outside were gone. Like it was so sad. But I think they still swarmed. During this process, there were bees checking out the other hive. And that's why I was like, maybe they're gonna swarm. So I opened that other hive up, right? Let's make it convenient. You can go right in. And so I didn't see any activity and I didn't know what happened. And all of a sudden there were bees coming in and out of that hive. So I have bees coming out of both hives and I'm like, yes, I caught a swarm. Great, even if it was my own swarm. And that's about how it went through the rest of summer. This hive number 1, just kept building and doing things and being busy. And hive number 2 was really slow, but they always had bees coming in and out. Okay, so end of summer, September, my grandson and I decided we were going to check out what was really going on with that hive. And we checked the hive number 1, and all the frames were full, pretty full of honey. That last frame needed to be capped. So I'm like, we're good. We can wait another month or so. Shut him up. Went to see number 2. Number 2, I was really concerned about the first time I opened it up because there was no baby bees. There was just little odd patches of bee bread and bee pollen and whatever, you know, this odd little things in the comb. And I was like, oh no. But there's still plenty of bees. So I was like, maybe they had to make a new queen and she just hasn't come back yet. Fast forward another month, okay? And we check it out beginning of November. Yeah, so busy with the garden, just too much to do. And so it's November and we go in there again, me and my grandson. And my husband was helping at this point. But we pull the frames from the first hive number 1 that was doing so well. I'm pulling those frames of honey and that one still isn't totally capped. But as we get further into the hive, I am realizing that this hive is dead. It is basically being robbed. So 3/4 of the hive was robbed. I had 6 frames that I could pull for honey. So I pulled those 6 frames, just shut the hive. I was I'm just gonna let them rob what they can rob and I'll deal with it later. And we go over to the other hive. Now this hive must have the queen because they are actually producing the honey on top of the frames. It's a horizontal hive. So they got all the honey is filled up on top of the frames, which is great. No excess honey though. So after much debate, we ended up going back and putting 2 frames of honey in there for spring, okay? And so I had 4 frames left to make honey with, and I actually froze one. I didn't actually harvest all of it. I did 3 solid frames, and I left one to freeze just in case that hive needs it. And I was just like, but I was ecstatic, you guys. You don't understand. It's really sad. But I was successful and they made it through winter. That was a big hurdle for me. And second, they made it, even though one, they kind of switched hives actually. You know, the one that was doing great died, this one died, and then it was, you know, building up. So I'm ecstatic. Yes, I have to buy bees next year. Maybe we'll try a vertical hive. I have a couple hiding in my garage. But I just love my bees. And the amount of time I spend actually doing anything with them is so minimal. I get more enjoyment just watching them, walking by, seeing how crazy they are, what they're doing, you know. So, you know, I love it. That was my bee update for today. Anyway, today we're doing another soap. The last Christmas soap. I left it for last. It's a doozy. And 3 things: be kind, be forgiving, be you. And let's go check out our last Christmas soap, lemon champagne. Okay, and to our soap. See what I mean about my colors with my oils? So much fun. So much fun. It's just a pain to mix them. I don't know why. Mixing them into the soap batter is just, ugh. I gotta start like pouring off some of my, you know, or else, I don't know, super fatting it. I don't know what to do. I haven't decided, you know, because if you add extra, so if you super fat at 5%, but then you don't use your batter and you add just extra oils for your colors, which can be anywhere from, like in my experience, like half an ounce to an ounce or more, depending on what you're doing. You know, you're actually upping the super fat, which isn't a bad thing at all, unless you're really particular and specific. To this soap, let's see, we have lemon peel powder, coconut milk powder, and kale and clay, all in the bowl that I was blending up. Yes, so there's, you know, lots of fun. Lemon powder is a nice exfoliant. Yes, just a little bit of exfoliant. I guess we could have put colloidal oats in here too. I didn't even think of that when I was adding all the other stuff. This is actually a fragrance blend, which I'm not going to share with you. I know, you're like, what? Sorry. No, it's something I have been doing for a few years now. Maybe I told you, maybe I didn't, but that's okay, because you really don't need to know, you know, all the details, do you, of this fragrance oil? Not really. It's lemon, it's champagne. There's so many effervescent type fragrance oils out there that, you know, you can just pick one. Okay, so I'm going to try and blend that yellow into its batter and adding titanium dioxide to this. I don't really remember why. I don't think the colors or the fragrance oils, why does that furnace always kick on when I'm trying to record? I don't think the fragrance oils discolor at all, but just in case, you know, it's always fun to do. And that little bit right there is some just extra oil with a heavy dose of gold mica, which never works for me. I don't even know why I do this anymore, because it just doesn't work. Like, it looks pretty fluid. It looks like it should drop swirl just in there perfectly. Yes, it does. And then, you know, try and cover it up, but then it you know, and I suppose it's going to float to the top because it's just oil. It's just, there's nothing, you know, for it to saponify with. I don't know. Sometimes I question my own self a lot of times, but whatever. But yeah, so now, yeah, I just did the chunky mess and, you know, blending it up so I can get it my yellow color. And when I feel it's all mixed up well, I'm going to add some of this gold to my yellow. So it's kind of like a double bowl swirl, but I never have luck. You know, you see these people make these cute like wood grain soaps or geodes, or and they have the cool lines through them that are mica lines that they poured in there. Yeah, it does just, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. It just, it's like, why do I keep bothering? Because I'm going to keep trying, because eventually I will succeed in that. But, okay, what are we doing? We are doing, what are we doing? We are doing a traditional drop swirl, where we pour most of the batter of the first color in and then come in with the second color. I probably have a lot more yellow per se. I really never know what the ratios are. Is it supposed to be, specific, like so much of one color and then the rest are the, like 2/3 of one color, 1/3 of the of additional colors? I really don't know. I have no idea. Traditional bowl swirl. Anybody know how that's supposed to work? No. Okay, and fast forwarding to just pouring a little bit of this gold oil drizzle on top. Yep. Gotta use it up somehow, you guys. It works. And then just taking the skewer and just trying to, thin it out a little bit, make it look a little presentable. But I did wait for it to thicken up, and then I did this design on top. So you can still see some of the oil, but yeah. Interesting. It's so yummy though. If you like lemon, this is the bar for you. It's so yummy. And it's exfoliating, which is a bonus. I love exfoliating bars. I really do. For some reason, I just love them. Kind of like a washcloth and a soap bar. I know somebody was talking, was it my mother or was it somebody else? They were talking about the felted soaps. They heard about these felted soaps. What are these felted soaps? And I'm like, I don't do felted soaps. It's just basically felt, and you stick pin it around the soap, and then I guess it gets smaller as you use it. Like it stays on the soap bar, and you just keep using the soap bar and the felt, and eventually you're done with all of it. That's what I've heard. I have no experience with them at all. I've seen them done. It's really cool. It's an amazing craft. That some people that do it, it's just so neat, but I don't do them. But I will do exfoliating bars because they are so much fun. So much fun. And look at these. You can see the yellow pattern in there already. I don't know why my cutter did that on the bottom. Maybe this is the one that I waited too long for it to cut. It was like pretty solid. Can't remember. Sometimes there's just stuff going on and I don't get the bars cut. That's just a thing. Yep. It could have been. I could have had a vendor show and, it sat there for 3 days. Or 4. It's been known to do that. But, yeah. And, yeah, see, it's going to discolor a little bit, is what I'm thinking, to that darker outside portion. Can't remember which one discolors. But anyway, here are the fragrance notes to these exfoliating bars. Here are the bars right after I cut them. And countdown, 3, 2, 1. Here are the bars when they are totally cured. Nice and creamy and lemony. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. And I will see you next time. God bless.